It's Inauguration Day, but we also have to celebrate some local sports success. Welcome into My State of Mind. I am Dan York. Happy New Year to all of you. I'll say that all week. That's still appropriate, isn't it? Guess what? The head coach for Providence College men's soccer, Craig Stewart, is my guest. And it's hard to get these coaches in here from time to time, and so we get them in when we can get them in because most of you know I'm nothing but a dumb jock anyway, and I just love talking about sports success. And PC was on a heck of a run this year in men's soccer, a game that I enjoy watching but still don't really get. Well, it's hockey on grass, or football in Europe, or in fact, I think the coach refers to it as football because he's from Europe. Anyway, we'll have a good time talking about PC success and soccer itself, or football, coming up here in a couple of seconds. But first, it is Inauguration Day, and we should, as we enter My State of Mind, talk about it a little bit. So I'll just let you know that we'll talk about the historic day, which was, I have to tell you, everyone you get kind of tentative talking about the historic day because if you criticize anything the governor has to say, it's like, oh, it's really not great protocol. It's her first day, but I got some issues with her speech, a couple anyway. And then I think her staff made a clumsy mistake with the bishop, which was completely unnecessary. And then this is something that I think a lot of people are starting to wonder and worry about, whether they're going to be sticking around. And of course, we always want to hear what you have to think on your state of mind, on My State of Mind. So let us dig in. The rundown is a little shorter in topic, but more in depth because of the length of the audio that we have here, frankly. So Gina Raimondo had her big day. She is our new governor, and there is always a breath of fresh air. Here's your headline, talking about it a little bit today. And there is Secretary of State Ralph Malus doing his almost last official duty in swearing in our new governor. The family was there. It was a beautiful moment. And in a lot of ways, I thought Gina Raimondo's speech was pretty much on target. I will tell you at the end how I felt, and I don't know if it'll match how you felt, but you know, it's just one man's opinion. But at the beginning, she really, after the niceties, she laid the lumber down in terms of putting us in a real bad place.
In just the last year, we've had the highest unemployment rate in the country for 9 straight months. We've been 49th among states where companies want to do business and dead last for helping entrepreneurs. At the same time, our government has become larger but less effective. We face unsustainable budget deficits, and yet our roads, bridges, and school buildings are crumbling. As a result, workers are insecure, families are vulnerable, and too many cities are teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. And far too many young people are leaving our state to seek opportunity elsewhere.
And that was just some of the synopsis that she gave. Okay, follow the thought process. Now, amidst a whole bunch of other problems that she cited in calling the place a big mess, she offered 3 ways to start to build out of it.
To spark Rhode Island's comeback, we've got to do 3 things. First, we have to build the skills our students and workers need to compete in the 21st century. Second, we have to attract entrepreneurs and investment in industries of our strength to stimulate our economy and create jobs. And third, we have to innovate in everything we do, including in our state government, to enhance accountability and deliver value to taxpayers.
I think those are smart things. What's missing, though, in this now governor's presentation and during the entire campaign is the vision of where we're going to be when we're out of the mess. How do we measure that? What is the metric, if you will? PC soccer made it to the Final Four. That's a success metric. What is our metric? Anyway, she got a little handsy, a little chafy-like, which is fine. And then she offered a number, which puzzled me.
I want everyone to have opportunity to make it in Rhode Island. So today, I ask you to join me and let's reach for something better for Rhode Island. Now listen, the job's not going to be done in 2 or 5 or 10 years, and the problems we face weren't created overnight, and we're not going to solve them overnight.
This is a manipulation. I felt like I was handled as a constituent watching this inauguration speech. Now look, she's got a lot of days left as the governor. This is only day 1. But it's really, really, really bad. Really, really, really bad. I'll give you a couple of concepts on how to make it better. But guess what? Don't hold your breath, because it's not going to happen in 2, 5, or 10 years. How those numbers actually correlate, anybody's guess. I have no idea. And it wasn't that it's going to take 2, 5, or 10 years. It's that it won't be done in 2, 5, or 10 years. And I don't even know what won't be done means, because I don't even know what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And if you do, let me know on your state of mind, or on the radio tomorrow, noon to 3 on WPRO, and tell me. First day, mixed bag, interesting. We congratulate her. She needs to succeed, because we need to succeed. Easy for me to say. Next item, though, this was just sloppy and clumsy on the part of the transition team. This little headline, Bishop headline, this is on day one of inauguration, and you get this Bishop rejects thing. Look, the Bishop proffered weeks ago that he wasn't going to come to the inauguration and he was going to have his own mass. I mean, when Link Chafee kind of biffed the Bishop 4 years ago, the Bishop had his own mass during the inauguration. And same thing here, because he feels not so good. Well, here was his explanation to Steve Clampkin at WPRO News a few weeks ago.
Well, I don't know if I will be invited to participate in any of those inaugural activities. I can say that on Inauguration Day, we're going to be having a special Mass at the Cathedral at noon, just during the inauguration time, I believe, as we did 4 years ago. And at that Mass at the Cathedral on Inauguration Day, we'll be praying for God's blessing upon our nation and our state and all of our leaders. So I don't know that I'll be involved in the inauguration anyway, but we do have a schedule right now to have Mass at the Cathedral on that day, to ask for God's blessings.
He repeated those comments in print in the diocesan newspaper, and then this weekend, the transition team decides to send Bishop Tobin a formal invitation to the inauguration that he's already said he's not coming to because of the abortion issue. Look, she goes to Mass at 9 o'clock this morning in her own local parish, which she has every right to do. We've got like this battling Catholicism thing going on here. But it's a bad optic. You don't pick a fight with the bishop, inviting him to something that you know he's not going to come to when he's already said, all due respect, no thanks. It's like a little bit of overcompensation for a little bit of insecurity about what's been going on with the Catholic thing and the pro-life thing, or the pro-choice thing, as it would be. Anyway, that was today's day. The other thing that has got me a little concerned are the worries over the paw socks. I promise you that I will do some diligence on this. Here is the headline that you can see in the Providence Journal. They're going to do everything possible, those in Pawtucket, to save the paw socks. And Tony Pires, who's Director of Administration, the number 2 guy there, to Mayor Grebian, talked to Buddy Sancy on his radio show yesterday about it briefly.
There is new ownership. I think what we want to convey is that Rhode Island and Pawtucket are very much interested in working with any new ownership and trying to develop this as a destination place.
Yeah.
Very much interested. Stand on your head and make sure that they don't leave. Very much interested. This might be a thing for Governor Raimondo, because losing the paw socks would be a psychological blow this state cannot afford. We shall pay more attention to that play coming up. All right, your state of mind, always important to us. You call us at 228-1886. Leave us a voicemail. Email us at stateofmind@myiritv.com. Tweet, Facebook post. And this Secrets and Scandals book by Phil West still has people talking. That's Phil West, and still has people talking.
That book's probably really good. There's a lot of other books, and there's a lot of other issues in the state of Rhode Island. But you don't need a book to see what's going on here. Just ride down any road in any city.
You drive down the road in any city, you see the secrets and the scandals. Come on, smile. It's not that tough around here. We're always talking about the Final Four for PC, the Final Four for URI. We got to go to the Final Four. And guess what? PC went to the Final Four. It was soccer. Oh, what is that, a consolation prize for you? Not for the people who follow soccer, it's not. Here was the headline, amongst many. This is a surprise run, according to the pundits who follow this kind of stuff. Craig Stewart is the head coach of PC. Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
That's a big deal.
Yep.
Always a big deal, no matter what level. When you get to the Final Four of anything nationally, it's a big deal. Is it a surprise? Was it?
I think the fact that it's never been done before at Providence made it a surprise to many people. But I think through our body of work and what we were able to do through the season, I think it became more people give us a little bit more respect and said, yeah, this team deserves to be here.
Has it resonated? You know, we invited you. I mean, and you know, but it's not your marker of success doing Dan York State of Mind. Has it, you feeling it throughout the community? Is it had any kind of longevity, elasticity?
Yeah, I think the whole buzz around, not only around campus, but in the state and the following, and you know, we're in the airport and people are asking about the run and congratulating us. It was definitely felt throughout the state, you know, and I think giving it a little bit more time to reflect and look back on it, it touched a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if folks are listening carefully, they can tell you're from Cranston.
Yeah.
Background, third-year coach, correct?
Yep.
From?
Third-year head coach back at Providence. Prior to that, I was at Franklin Pierce University up in New Hampshire, where I actually played. So I was a head coach there for 3 seasons, and prior to that was at Providence as an assistant coach under Shaka Daly.
Now, you do some scouting for the teams back at home, correct?
No,
not
the professional teams.
No? Are you still involved in European soccer?
I do some stuff for the U.S. Federation now, so
Okay.
I'm on this side of the
I
waters
can't
now.
figure out what the nationality issues are and the country allegiance and the alliances and everything else. Well, you know, in the second segment, we'll talk a little bit more
Sure.
about the nature of the game. So tell me, what was the magic all about in terms of this PC run? When did it all come together? How did it click? Was there some aha moment? Was there some thing that happened?
I don't think there was a moment. I think, again, as we went through the season, there was definitely a sense and just a feel amongst the group and probably amongst the staff that we started to believe we could do something special. But I think it all started from a foundation of hard work, and the guys put themselves in a good place for pre-season, working hard and training every day, and just taking each game as it came, and just building off one game to the next.
You know, I've had the PC cross country coach in, and he's historic, and I used to run. Don't laugh. Cross country champion. Don't laugh. But I have no idea how you train for soccer, other than just run and run and run and run and
Yeah.
run and run and run and just keep running. It's like
Yeah.
Gump, just right. I mean,
Yeah.
the training has got to be excruciating.
Yeah, there's a lot of running, which I'm fortunate I have Coach Tracy along the hallway from me, so I can always check in with him.
You guys share thoughts back and forth?
Yeah, Coach Tracy, obviously being back from Ireland, is a big supporter of football as well. So he's very passionate about the game,
Yes,
and
he is.
his club team, Man United. So we go back and forth with some rivalries there. But yeah, there's a lot goes into the training side of things, probably more than people would expect, and that's on the field, off the field. Technical, tactical work, so a lot of stuff goes into it.
How many guys you got from home here on the club?
In terms of Rhode Island
Yes.
players, we have 26 players on the roster. We have a good mix of we have domestic players from all over the country. We have some international players in there, but we've made it a big push to make sure there's some really the top local products are coming to Providence College. So we've made a big push for that.
What's soccer like here in the region?
It's good, yeah.
Is it on par with the rest of the country?
Yeah, I think there's some real special players come out of this region, past and present, and I think it's it's a state where there's a lot of second-generation families and diverse background where soccer is definitely in their blood. So we found a lot of those players, whether it's a Portuguese background, a Colombian background, have really excelled and done well in our system.
So tell me, as you're on your run, just in single elimination play, it's tedious. Never mind in soccer, which is one break goes the wrong way.
Yeah.
Including your devastating loss, which was a deflection into the wrong net. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What up with that? I mean, it must be a very pensive, competitive experience all the way through. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people will say this as well. It's a pretty fickle sport where you can be the better team on the day or the most dominant team in many ways, but at the end of the game, you find yourself on the wrong end of the scoreline, which I don't know if there's too many other sports where I think if a good team shows up, typically they win the game.
Yeah, football and basketball generally, if you're out unless you're having a real bad shooting night, generally you're gonna win the game if you're outplaying the opposition. Not so in your game necessarily.
No, I don't think that's the case, and I think that's the beauty of the game is, and what those supporters, those who are really passionate about the sport, see is it's not always about the scoring and the results. At times it's the way you play. So I think, again, for us in the semi-final, that was a great example of just where we didn't get the bounce on the day, and we played really well, played an excellent, 2 halves in overtime, and didn't come out on top. So that's just the way the game goes.
Losing to UCLA, but there's some big names. It was fun to watch and read about it as a non-expert. I mean, as somebody who really was just having fun reading and following it on television.
Good.
Big universities, like PC's knocking off big name schools, right?
Yep.
You just have to be able to figure out that it's not football, it's not basketball.
Yep.
But they're still big programs,
Yep.
huge programs. Recruiting budget similar? Are you in a deficit position that way, or do you have as much resources as some of the big time schools?
Yeah,
do?
we're in a very fortunate position where the PC athletic department and the school itself puts a lot of emphasis on our sport, and we have a lot of the resources that some of these other programs have. So although we're a smaller school and from a smaller state, we have really what we need to be successful, and it's continued. I think that's developed and grew over the last few years, and I think it's now taken another step. We have the go-ahead and a huge donation of 1.5 million to go ahead and build a sports-specific stadium on campus, which
Huge.
a lot of these programs don't have. So I think it's all heading in the right direction.
It's good stuff. Is it soccer or football? Next. Good.
Yeah, I'm very proud of us, through the whole entire season, and we were just playing the best soccer towards the end of the season. So, I have no complaints, and I have no regrets either. So it was a great season.
He seems a little nonplussed about that. Robbie Alley, local guy, a Rhode Island kid playing for PC, right?
Yeah.
Part of the Final Four run for the Friars. So you're building the new facility, and now the facility has been in the works for how long? You don't just run the Final Four and they go, hey, you know what, nice job, coach, so we're going to build your new facility.
No, it's not all based on success, but I think it's, I think over the last few years they've been planning and developing and having the plans to start building the new stadium on campus. So
What will it seat?
we're talking 2,500 plus with a kind of seated stadium and an overhang.
It's kind of like a plan came together, right? The development, you're obviously looking for the resources, the school is committing to the program, and then you go on this flyer to the Final Four, and as you're going from crowds of a couple 300 that are going to regular season games to a few thousand that were there watching this whole thing. So it all kind of fits, and there's a reason now for the facility, right?
Yeah, the timing was perfect,
Yeah.
which we couldn't have wrote it any better. I think, again, they want to do it right, so they've took some time with the plans, but the timing couldn't have been better.
Will the program, and with the growth of soccer the way it is, will the program rise to this marketing level that we see when Cooley's got his spots going? Even the PC hockey team is selling tickets, that kind of thing. Do you think that the soccer program will kind of rise to that kind of, hey, let's sell tickets and get people out on a regular basis?
Yeah, I would hope so. I think obviously we have the student base on campus, so we want to get all the students. We play night games now under the lights, so the kids on campus can come to the games. And I think, again, in the fall, we're potentially the biggest kind of show in town, in the sense of there's no professional teams or anything running, or basketball haven't started up, so I think it's a great time to get out and watch games.
You had some real individual successes too. This guy Max Stevens had quite the accolade. He won the most valuable offensive player award, even with you guys not going the whole way.
Which I believe was the first time in the history of the award, 31 years, that someone had actually accomplished that.
What other standout things ought to be noted about what happened with this roster this year?
I think it was a talented group. We had a good balance of players. Everyone contributed, and we did have some guys who got some individual recognition, but it was all based around the team and what the work of the body of work the team put in.
The tough question for all college coaches are you sticking around? Now, I have no idea about how it works. Is this the kind of level where you can go, I can be here a long time, or is this a stepping stone type of thing for you?
Well, when I came back, it was with the intention of taking Providence to the next level. And obviously, with the recent run, we've accomplished some of our goals, but I think I think we now want to take it to another step, and I think the athletic department are making every effort to make that happen. So right now I'm very happy and I love where I'm at.
Is it soccer or football?
Football.
Because I'm reading the quotes. I mean, it's the soccer semifinal story, but when the ball goes in the net the wrong way, your quote here is, well, that's football.
Yeah, I think that comes back. It's like my accent. When it comes down to it, it comes back in. But I think football is spelled a little bit differently, and I think the Big East is becoming a football conference in that way. And I think Providence can become a football school.
But it'll never sell with football being what
That's
football
all right.
is.
That's all right.
Call it what you want. It's a hell of a game, no
That's
doubt.
right.
Right. Congratulations, Coach. It's a heck of a run on any level, and the new facility will be ready when?
In the fall.
For next season.
Yep.
You play a little bit in the spring, but the real stuff starts again in the
Yep.
fall.
Yep.
All right. I shall buy a ticket. That is for
Brilliant.
sure. Congratulations.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
PC Friars. It's not just about Cooley, you know. Big Cooley thing, but that's not just about Cooley. One more thing when we come back. One more thing. Pedro got in. Pedro with Smoltz and who else? Rennie Johnson. A bunch of none of the doped up guys got in. Congratulations. Now listen, as a Yankee fan, all I can say is this. While you guys have tremendous vision for Pedro and all the things that he did, all I can still see is Don Zimmer's, blank over tea kettle going bang. But God rest his soul, and congratulations to Pedro. And hey, Red Sox Nation has something to celebrate here in the off season. Alrighty. Hey, listen, tomorrow we'll have one of the die-in organizers over the overdose crises. They were protesting during the inauguration. Today, we'll have one of those organizers tomorrow on the broadcast. And of course, we'll see you on the radio at noon till 3 on WPRO. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Stay warm.